In X-Men Destiny, you play the role of a mutant who has just discovered their powers, of which you get to choose out of 3 choices. This happens during an attack on a peace rally. You must now find out who caused the attack, and must side with either the X-Men or the Brotherhood. You're given the choice of 3 different characters to play as, each with their own unique backstories. There's Amy, who was sent to America by her parents in an effort to protect her. Then there's Adrian, the son of a purifier who's searching for his father's killer. Finally, there's Grant, a college freshman looking to become a pro athlete. The immediate threat you see during the rally are the purifiers, who will serve as the game's main cannon fodder. The weakest ones even have red shirts. As with most antagonist groups of the X-Men, the goal of the purifiers is to eradicate the existence of all mutants. The bulk of the gameplay is fighting through the various cannon fodder, awaiting cutscenes and boss fights. X is to use weak attacks, Y is for strong attacks, and right trigger plus a face button uses a special power as you unlock them. The game is pretty easy, even most of the bosses can be defeated with the old smack and run technique. The graphics, as you can see, aren't very good at all. In fact, out of all the retail current-gen games I've personally played, this is the worst looking one. This looks like it could have been on the first Xbox. The music is pretty good though. Maybe a bit too stock for some people, but it fits well for a comic book superhero type of game. Where the game really shines is the voice acting and most of the story. They assembled a very talented cast for all the voices. Well, maybe except Gambit, as he doesn't really sound Cajun. The script is very well written and is very accurate to how the characters are in the comics.
So what happened to the X-Men? In news stories, you're always in New York.
Well, we lost our base, and the man who brought us together in the first place.
Charles Xavier.
Yeah, Professor X. Hard to believe he's gone.
While the levels are mostly linear, you can go off the path a bit to find new power modifications, collectibles, and challenge rooms. There's a good amount of stuff to find, and the X-Genes change the way your power looks as well as altering its effects. It is nice to be able to mix and match abilities like this. Now, so far the game probably seems like a decent mixed bag. However, where the game falls flat on its face is the length. There are 8 chapters, and my first playthrough on the normal difficulty only took me 5.5 hours. And that was with exploring enough to find roughly 80% of all the hidden things. Now you may be thinking multiple playthroughs. After all, there are 3 characters and 3 sets of powers to choose from. While the backstories and endings may be different for each character, everything in between is exactly the same. And while there are no game-breaking bugs, the game is very poorly coded, at least on the 360. The game will stutter every time there are more than 10 enemies around you. Also, there's no way to manually save the game. The game saves at checkpoints, which is basically every time something story-related happens. Of course, with how short the game is, you may beat it in 1 or 2 sittings anyways. Overall, this is a decent game for X-Men fans, but it's not worth even close to the $60 price tag they put on it. This is a rental or bargain bin game at best, as it has an overall good idea that was stupidly rushed kind of feel to it. If the devs would have taken the time to flesh out the story, optimize the coding, polish the graphics, and improve the variety of the cannon fodder and bosses, this could have been a really great game. But instead, they rushed this out the door to make a quick buck. Thanks, Activision. Never change. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.